We're going to go through all of the cross-rental forms, any form that will go through the cross-rental department. And I'm here with Crystal Dale to help explain these forms as we go through them. And we are going to go through the lift request form for any scissor lifts, carts, that sort of thing, the Drape order form, the radio order form, teleprompter order form, and Copier request form. Most of these forms are pretty self-explanatory, so we'll just go through them real quick. This first form here is the lift request form. The producing branch, so you just need to fill out the information here. So a lot of it's through drop downs. You select Orlando, CSM, put the person's name in there, and then your event name, venue name. So what happens is when you populate all the information in the blue and in the yellow areas for like what type of equipment do you need, this will drop down a lift or a cart. Lift, what type of lift do you need, electric boom, gas boom, single man. So it's got all the different types of lifts. And then articulating, 60 foot, 35 foot, that's great. And then once you've filled all this in, what it does is it populates everything here in this email summary. So once you have everything here, oh, also don't forget safety equipment. How many hard hats do you need and how many vests do you need? The vests are only needed for whoever is operating and working with the lift to spot the driver. The hard hats are for anybody that's working within a 5-foot radius of an operating lift, but it's recommended that you should have enough lifts for your entire crew. So you can put those quantities here as well, and it does auto-populate those in the equipment. So once you've done all of this and you've got the lift request form ready, then the last thing is to click on this button here, right? All right, so click on the button. And what it does is it auto-populates an email. So if you read what it says when you completed this form, it emails to Orlando Inventory Control and Cross Rentals. What Crystal has pointed out is that it does not email Cross Rentals, just AVIC. So if I type in AVXR Orlando, now I've got Crystal looped in for the rentals as well. Once you have this, you're just going to need to select all this information. I'm going to hit Control-C to copy, bring the email back, Control-V, and it pastes all that information, and then all you have to do is hit send. Okay? And then once that's sent, take this form, save it, and then post it to the inventory control tile on the event SharePoint site.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on the lift request form?
No, that's it.
That's it? All right. So that's that form. Next form is the Drape order form. So for this one, if you need Drape, typically we get all of our Drape requests. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So show job number R2, and then
venue, address, city, state, dock. Yeah, all of that. If it's okay to arrive on the FAV truck because you have FAV personnel setting up the equipment, that can be left blank. If you'd like Quest to come out and set the equipment up for you, we just ask that you fill in all of that information. And then obviously the color and style of the drape, gray velour, black velour, the size, how much, the height of it. So 18 high, 36 foot high, and then the quantity of said drape.
Right.
So if
that
you
would be
need
the
10, yes, the quantity would be the width. They usually come in 13.5 size panels, instead of our FAV 10-foot panels.
Perfect. Okay. Any notes or no?
Not really. Though that's really just if you really need to call something out. If you could also submit a diagram of the drape, that'll help Quest out with bringing extra parts and pieces for their hardware. If you do need FAV to set up the equipment and there is hardware needed, we just ask that you double check with IC first because sometimes we have it here. available, and then if not, we just ask that you put in however many crossbars or uprights that you need.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's the Drape order form. I thought I had a question, one more question about this. Let me think. Notes, requirements. When this form is finished, they would just email it directly to you?
Yeah, they can either send it to me or the cross-rental group, which is me, myself, Jerry, and Josh.
So avxrorlando@freemanco.com.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that'll just go be a direct email and not posted on SharePoint? Or do they post these on SharePoint?
No, they don't have to. I think
okay.
it's just a Lyft requirement for SOP to have that posted on SharePoint.
Got it. Okay. That's the Drape order form. Moving on, we're going to go to the radio order form. Pretty similar to the other form: show, job number, R2 number, venue, and then quantity. Repeater would be if you have a really large show, if you're between multiple venues or all the way across a venue.
Correct.
If you had all of OCCC West, would you typically need to repeat it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then earpieces and shoulder mics if needed. And then do they need to be labeled?
Yes. So that's for client radios, or if you guys needed FAV 1 through 10, if you have 10 walkie-talkies, we can label them that way so it's easier for y'all on sign out. So if one goes missing, per se, we know that FAV 4 went missing. Who used that? We can ask them where it's at. But if you have a client name for listing, we just ask that you submit it via Word doc or just on the email itself.
Gotcha. So you can just, in the body of the email, have the list of client names that they need.
Correct. Or
send you an attachment with a Word doc. And again, this form, once it's filled out, will go to Crystal Dale directly or to avxrorlando@freemanco.com.
Yeah, and then that bottom portion of the email, that's if you have a huge show where you'd like Radio 1 to drop off direct to show site, get everything set up, that's where you can utilize this bottom portion of the form. If you would like it to arrive with the FAV truck, you can just go ahead and omit that part of the form as well.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is only if the radio vendor is dropping off and setting everything up for you, a repeater and stuff like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's okay on the FAV truck with the rest of their meeting room or GS gear,
leave it blank.
Yeah, just leave it blank.
Okay, excellent. All right, moving on, we're looking at the teleprompter request form. And when we rent teleprompters, it's including the prompter and the operator, correct? Okay, all right. Same thing, show number, job number, venue information, equipment. What would they put here?
If they need a presidential op or just regular, or if they need 2 sets of glass, 4 sets, because some clients want multiple glasses, that way they can put it up there. Date and time is what time you need the operator there, like to start setting up on load-in and stuff like that. You would just separate that out. That's why we gave you multiple days. If you need to, you can add more lines on there.
Okay.
And then the notes and requirements. If you are using FAV DSMs, you can put that little handy note just, for communication, or if you need them to provide additional DSMs, you can make that little note on there as well.
Okay, and then again, this form, when it's complete, will go to Crystal Dale directly or to avxrorlando@freemanco.com.
Yes.
And last but not least, copier request form. Typically only see this in meeting rooms or overall production.
Right. And these are your full service, multifunction, heavy duty type of printers.
The type you would have in a normal business.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Like our Konica, the huge hefty ones.
Okay, gotcha. So if ever you need this, that would be filling out the information here again. What type of printer, how many, any other notes on this form, or is it pretty?
If they need networking, they can put that in the notes and requirements subject. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Okay, excellent. And this form also will go to Crystal Dale directly or to avxrorlando@freemanco.com. So these are all the forms, and if you need these forms, they can email you for them. Okay. And then I will work on distributing them so that you have them in your toolbox just for whenever you need them.
Right.
But all right, well, thank you for going through this with us. So that's all the different documents and things that you would go through Cross Rentals to get them for your show and how to do it.